mamas, welcome to phase 2, day 2 of our postpartum ab program to heal, strengthen, and sculpt your abs post-baby. We're gonna go ahead and get started with our first exercise, that's supine march. So on your back, pull your belly button in toward your spine and lower back toward the floor. We lift the front leg up and tap. So we're on our 4th workout of the program by now. You should know this exercise. We've done it in every workout and we're gonna continue to do it because this is our foundation. It helps us engage our core, but it's gentle, so we're not going hardcore right off the bat. We are gonna progress as we move through these workouts, as I'm sure you've noticed, but we're never gonna do anything to compromise our postpartum core. It's still meant to rebuild and heal your abs and pelvic floor. So we're always gonna keep it somewhat gentle, but of course it's gonna progress as you progress, so it's smart to stay with each phase for a few weeks. And rest. We're gonna move on to the second exercise, that reverse march. So reset that core, knees come up 90 degrees over the hips, and we tap and lift. So if you're in the 4th exercise or the 4th workout with us today, you've gone through phase 1, phase 2, a little more challenging, but still gentle. You should be starting to master these movements, and we keep doing the same ones so that you can truly feel like you're mastering them and getting stronger. And then it's gonna be, like I said earlier, our foundation for some of those harder exercises that we'll do later on. Almost there. And we rest. All right. Resetting that core, we're going with a double leg lift next. So both knees lift up over the hips, 90 degrees. Increasing the pressure here. Also, you've probably noticed I'm not wearing shoes in any of these workouts. You really don't need them. Of course, if you're at the gym or something and you need to wear shoes, that's fine. But I feel like personally, they add some unnecessary weight and just, they're not necessary. So again, here, pressing that low back toward the floor, palms up, so we're not gripping the floor. All that pressure is in that inner abdominal wall, that rectus abdominis. So as we're doing all these, we're controlling the movement and allowing that core to do the work, to really engage and strengthen, break. All right, we're gonna move on to some bent leg hip circles. So knees are gonna start over the hips, and we're gonna make little circles with those legs, bringing them out and around. Slightly forward, out and around. So just a couple inches, and you can just stay close to that 90-degree angle. I don't want you to push those knees too far out because that's gonna put a lot of load or a lot of pressure in your abs, and we don't wanna do too much too soon. Tiny little circles about the size of a bicycle wheel, not much bigger than that. And that little bit of hip abduction is also engaging those outer hip muscles, which helps strengthen and stabilize our abs. So you gotta have both. Strong glutes will help build a strong core and vice versa. Whoo, you feel a nice burn through those hips too, right? And rest. All right, we're moving on to a double leg lift to an extension. So this time, both legs are gonna come up and we're gonna extend one leg. So both legs come up and we extend, bend, and lower down. So we lift, press out, bend, and tap. So knees 90, press that lower back into the floor as you're extending that leg. About 45 degrees is as low as I want you to go here. You're gonna feel lots of pressure in those lower abs. And again, move as slow as you need to here. There's no pressure to do a certain number of reps, like always. It's just as many as you can get with good form. All right, we're gonna rest and do the other side. You can really feel that core heating up, right? So same thing, other side. We lift, extend, bend, and tap. And again, as you're extending that leg, you're pressing that lower back in toward the floor. So it's a really controlled movement. You're breathing, pulling that belly in. Almost there. All right, we're gonna move on to a single leg glute bridge. So this time we're gonna lift that front leg 90 degrees, push up through that back heel. Ready? We lift the front leg and tap. So you're gonna keep that leg bent at 90 degrees. If you need to, you can put it down between each rep and reset. You're pushing through the back heel to lift the hips nice and high. Relaxing and then pulling that belly button in toward your spine at the top. Deep inhale, exhale, tighten up that core. And again, you wanna try to keep everything even, so the hips are as even as possible as you're moving. That leg that's pressing into the floor, you're squeezing the glute. Nice and controlled. And rest. Same thing, other side. So these exercises are gonna be really good for unilateral treating, working each side individually so we can strengthen out, even out those sides. Other leg goes up and tap the booty. And you wanna push through your heel with that leg that's on the ground. That's gonna force the work into the glute. How's it feeling? Strong glutes, strong core. And this one's great for the pelvic floor, any sort of glute bridge. And rest. All right, we're moving on to the forearm. So we're gonna do a single leg forearm lift, hip lift. So we're gonna press through that arm, lift the hip, keeping that top leg extended, bottom leg bent. So you're lifting through the underside of your waist here, pressing through that forearm. So you're keeping that bottom leg bent for now. Later on, we'll extend both legs, but this is just a single leg. So we're starting with a more modified version of a side plank. As you lift that hip, squeeze your butt and pull your belly button in toward your spine. And then you can just relax your core at the bottom. So you don't have to feel like you have to stay tight the whole time. Most of these exercises at the bottom, that's when you can relax. At the top is where I want you to focus on engaging. All right, moving on to the other side. This will be our last exercise. So bottom leg bent, top leg straight, forearm is 90 degrees. And we lift. Really important to have that forearm 90 degrees and hip in line with the elbow so we're not putting excess pressure on the shoulder. And then again, we want to lift through those glutes, the underside of our waist, the obliques. Goal is not about how high you can get. Maybe you can just get a couple inches off the floor. No big deal. Do what you can do. That's why we've got phases. You can work up to this one. You have a few weeks to get better at it, to master it. Really feel like you are strong in each of these exercises. and recover. All right, we are done. 10 minutes, phase 2, day 2 of our postpartum ab program. So if you've mastered this phase for a couple of weeks, you can go ahead and move on to phase 3. Or if you need to start from the top, you can go to phase 1, do that for a few weeks and progress here. I hope you enjoyed it. Give me a thumbs up, subscribe to see my future postpartum ab workouts, and I'll see you again soon.